Hello! Thought I wouldn't have much to show in this video because after I made last week's video, in the amount of time it took to edit, render, and upload it, by the time it was uploaded, I was sick. So I spent Thursday out on the couch, and Friday and Saturday is feeling better and better and better. But when I got my energy back, I wanted to sew somewhere between a coat and a jacket for the kiddo because it doesn't get cold here very much. So normally it's just enough to put on a few extra layers, a few extra hoodies, and he's good. But every once in a while it gets cold enough that, not a full-blown coat because he's already wearing his layers of hoodies, but something a little extra. So I'm almost done with it. This is basically where most of my creative time has gone since last week. I still need to obviously stitch around the zipper where these straight pins are. So this is actually made of, the pattern was thrifted and the cloth was thrifted. I decided not to line it. I usually line stuff like this, but I'm trying to make it simple. Although you can see this quilted, pre-quilted cloth had this sort of dot on the outside and this floral on the inside that matched this brown, which I thrifted in a grab. These both came from grab bags at completely different times, but it matched pretty well. And also this grab bag not only had this quilted, but there was a little bit of it that wasn't quilted, and I am making it work, even though the pattern, not for this at all. So I thought the only other thing I would have to show you would be Vina, who I dressed like almost immediately after the video last week. And I was trying to mess with her hair, and I see why John decided to reroute one. I can't remember if the other one, if he removed the poof of hair in the front and rerouted that too. But one of her knees was actually frozen out of the box. It took me a while to get that worked out, but it did, and she's great. And I have not taken pictures of her yet because, like I said, sick and sewing. And I thought that would be all I'd have to talk about, but then I went to the thrift store today. Now, the thrift store I normally go to, that's normally in my absolutely normal route of errands, has been really disappointing for the last month or so. Like when I found Tan Line Crystal, that was in another thrift store off in the other direction. And there's another thrift store out beyond the post office that I don't usually go to because there's nothing else that direction. Well, there's actually another thrift store that I don't like that direction. But I thought I would go there even though I didn't expect much. And I got a decent haul. One of the first things that I saw was a Hasbro Moana, which had a $2 price tag on it. And I picked her up and I carried her around for a long time. But I finally told myself that no, I already have one of these Moanas. I've repainted her. This is something that I should leave for kids to get, for kids to play with when kids come along. So when I took this doll back to the toy section to put her down, I immediately spotted, I hadn't seen it before, but I knew it was there before. It's just I came at it from a different angle. I spotted fully dressed, what's it, Ghoul Fair Heath Burns for 99 cents. So yeah, I did not get the Moana, but obviously I got the Heath. Not quite sure what I'll do with him. Might see if someone would like to give him a better home. But this is something that I didn't feel guilty not leaving for kids because kids don't really like Monster High anymore. I know a lot of people who love Monster High find that hard to deal with, but Monster High is, so 2010. Anyway, and also my first time on that toy aisle, I didn't see a lot of dolls, but I did see the very familiar form of Creata Flower Princess Ballerina Leanna. Now, if you know me, you know I love Flower Princess Lisette, who has the stock purple hair. I had one when I was a kid. It was like the first time I'd ever even thought about purple hair being an option for anything. So when I found Lisette in the thrift store a few years ago, I was overjoyed. And then after I found her, I found another Lisette in the thrift store who I gave to someone. And so I was Never as enthusiastic about Leanna's blonde hair. The Leanna I had as a kid was the starry-eyed bride who had like rhinestones in her eyes. But seeing this in her original dress that's in really good shape for 99 cents, well, I couldn't resist. So like I said, I walked around the store with her and Moana for a while, went to put Moana back, grabbed Heath, we have a color theme going on here, and then decided to poke around through the rest of the toy aisle a little more, and I found another Leanna. They're both in pretty good shape. Excuse me, it'd be weird to smell them. They don't feel like they're not moldy or mildewy smelling. They're not cigarette smelling. So I kind of suspect these dolls might have been put away in a doll case since 1984 or 5. This one has a snap. She's probably the little older one. This one has Velcro, so she's slightly newer. So I have 2 more Create-A Flower Princess ballerinas. And then there was the random toy table, which was random. One of the things that I grabbed was this, like, I'm sure it's McDonald's Transformer dude thing, because this gives me options for feet for that robot doll. I mean, the first thing I thought I grabbed as well, these look like they would be big enough. I could graft these on to the doll. Oh, figure something to do with the hollow back. But then the more I looked at it, I thought, well, these Robo Godzilla, whatever they are, hands, feet, could also work for that robot doll. Or some other robot doll in the future. So that's nice. So I finally got the parts for that. I'm not sure, of course, when I will feel inclined to actually put her together. But she got feet. And, oh, this was also on the toy aisle. And it was color of the week, so I got it for like 50 cents. It's a little big to be a bag from one of the BJDs, but I don't know, something about this just seems rather 1980s to me. It's probably not. But then again, maybe it's been in the same place as these. This is, no, it doesn't smell the same. This smells like fabric softener. Yes, I know, I smell stuff, okay. You don't want to come home with a doll that you didn't realize reeked of cigarette smoke, for one thing. So if it's not a strong cigarette smell, yeah, I smell dolls in stores sometimes too. But what else was on the toy table? We have an adorable octopus, sparkly thingies, stickers, teeny tiny holographic Princess Leia. The kiddo will like this. Draco, Torchic, and Mudkip official pin to go on his jacket with all of his other pins. Some Liv sunglasses. Somebody's surprisingly well made but way too small for Barbie underwear. Two Wizard of Oz items. This is, of course, the McDonald's Madame Alexander. I know she's missing a skirt. But, I mean, as long as I was putting other things in the bag, I might as well grab another green doll, see if I can do anything with her. And then this was on the table. Just tin box. I mean, I'm not quite sure why I grabbed this, because I'm not a huge Wizard of Oz fan. I thought it was old, but I see now on the bottom it says 2000, so I don't know why I do things. Bratz Kids with the snap-on hair, which I'm not sure if I will leave this on her and find a new body for this head or what, but the Bratz Kids. I've repainted Bratz Kids before. They're fun. Briar Horse Rider in pretty good shape. This is a different horse rider than the one I'd had before, so I actually have not had this head sculpt before. It's better and a little bit bigger than the Briar Horse Rider I had before. If you're not familiar with the Briar Horse Riders, of course if you're not familiar with Mego, it won't help. Their body is pretty much a knockoff of the old Mego 8-inch action figure female body, except that the Briar bodies have a standard fashion doll type neck connection instead of the Mego neck connection that connected at the base of the neck. So I'm sure this will find a different head. And another cheap little doll in a nicely crocheted little outfit, which this one, unlike this tiny freaky crocheted outfit gal I found before, this outfit might actually fit on some other dolls, like a tunic from Monster High or something like that. I'm not sure, we'll see, or I could just start collecting this too. And this gal was on the table. She is kind of beat up, chewed on their elbow, and obviously she was an ornament or something, and her hang string has broken, but, you know, I'm just interested in the head. I'm not sure if this will work on that 17-inch Endless Hair Kingdom Barbie body or not. We'll see. And, I think I looked this up. I think it's called Zigzag or Zig and Zag. It's a zebra. I'm not sure if it's worth much of anything. I mean, I also found a whole handful of Legos and some other things that the kiddo might be interested in, and another Sophie giraffe that I can clean up and sell for a few dollars. So I might be able to make back what I spent here, if it really matters. I also grabbed this because I just want something that I can throw on. And well, I really want to start sewing human stuff. I like sewing doll stuff. I'm going to keep sewing doll stuff, but doll stuff doesn't take up much cloth. I mean, if you buy a quarter yard of cloth and make one doll outfit, that's not going to be that much of that. However, I have in my closet over there, I have a large shelving unit that recently broke, although I didn't realize it for a few weeks, because I had so much cloth crammed onto it. So once I realized it was broken, my husband helped, well, he fixed it, and I got the cloth back on it, and all the cloth, I'd been amazed I could fit so much cloth on it. It did not fit anymore, because part of the reason it's fitting is because the front end of the shelf was broken, so it was tilting forward, so I was able to like cram stuff over and around it. So when that got fixed, didn't all hold the cloth, so I need to start sewing more human-sized stuff. I will keep sewing doll stuff, especially since a lot of the human-sized stuff will leave little pieces left over that are just right for doll stuff. But I gotta clear out the doll stuff. But yeah, I also found this keyboard. And then at the post office was a lovely package from someone with the screen name Weaselbility, thank you, with amiibo cards that they had in surplus that I can share with the kiddo for Animal Crossing, and he will be thrilled. Today is his last day of school before the winter break, and Weaselbility also sent this Spoonflower sample of this fabulous brain print. And I have made stuff from Spoonflower swatches before for dolls, so this will probably be some sort of doll clothes at some point in the future, as long as I don't get sick again. So I'm not going to bore you with anything else, because really all I've been doing is sewing that jacket, and I'm not done yet. And I want to sew more for humans, but I haven't planned that yet because I still have to clean up all this stuff. And I will get back to dolls. Like I said, now I have feet, maybe, for the robot gal, so I can work on that project. And when it stops raining and dries out, I can start airbrushing things, and hopefully I will have some new dolls to show. Probably not until next year, but at this point next year is not that far away. Thanks for watching. Have a happy day.